I'm watching your show because I'm trying to learn about YouTube.
You're very good at what you do.
And don't worry, this isn't the outdated and obvious tips that you already know. We're gonna be getting into the practical stuff that you could use to make your intros rainy. On YouTube, great videos are killed by boring intros all the time. So remember to make it rainy, R-A-I-N-Y. Hear me out. This means your intro has to check the following 5 boxes, or at least as many of them as possible. And I'll show you how I did it with a few examples of intros that got 74% retention and 60% retention. So R stands for result. Up front in your video, you gotta tease the result the viewer will get if they watch your video. Like, where is it going? What are you gonna deliver? The value, or at least pose the question that your video will answer, highlight the stakes, and make sure it piques enough curiosity to watch. And again, I'll show you a few examples of how to do that for both unscripted and scripted videos here in a moment. A stands for address the objection. Call out the elephant in the room before your viewers even think about it. Listen, viewers today are sharper than ever before because they have more options than ever before. And that means their BS detectors are on high alert. Like, you can say the R, the result of your video in your intro, but they're already calling BS in their minds, whether it's subconscious or conscious, and you need to address it. I stands for instant. For long form, your intros should be around 45 seconds or less. And don't worry, we'll talk about what that means for short form. N stands for why now. Like, why is your YouTube video relevant right now? Is there a trend, a change, or something in the news that makes your video more timely? And Y stands for why you. Like, why are you the person to deliver this message? And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean you have to change who you are for a YouTube intro. That just means you have to highlight the right parts about your background. So here are 2 examples of how you could do that. One for unscripted, which are videos like vlogs, man on the street, interviews, and another for scripted, like talking heads, video essays. So it can apply to any video you're making, because I know there's a lot of different creators out there. So let's start off with an intro for an unscripted video where you don't control what happens. You can't control what's said after you press record. And here's an example of my interview with Liza Koshy that is nearing 1.9 million views, and the intro has 74% retention. So let's play it, and I'll break down how we structured it. Be reading a lot of the comments on your videos, Liza, and a lot of them talk about—
Where you at? Upload, hello?
We'll talk about that.
Liza Koshy quit YouTube? One of the biggest creators on the platform disappears.
Although I was at like my peak in terms of numbers, in terms of eyes and partnerships.
Liza Koshy, everybody. The fastest growing YouTuber ever.
I needed me, I missed me, and I refused to be ignored.
Who is ignoring you? Who is ignoring Liza Koshy?
You know?
So how did we make this intro rainy? Well, we sorted through every single moment from this hour-long interview, and here's where we landed. For the R, the result, right away, we're showing you that if you watch, you'll find out why Liza Koshy, one of the biggest YouTubers ever, left the platform at her height with over 15 million subscribers. And that's what I titled the video as well, which is another way to communicate the result. Then immediately I addressed your objection, which is the next line we put in the intro, because most people would just assume, like, there's no way that Liza Koshy actually talks about why she left YouTube, but she does. She doesn't dance around it. She even makes a joke about it. And during the actual interview, we deliver on this by diving deeper. The I is for instant. And again, this entire intro lasts about 34 seconds, which is well below the 45-second threshold. The why now, the N, well, this video came out during a time when Liza had left YouTube at her height, but she never really talked about it in a full sit-down interview until now. And then the why you, well, I made sure to include lines and questions from myself where I push back and I challenge her in this intro. Like, really, like, who is ignoring you? So the viewer knows, like, oh crap, this is not going to be a cakewalk. This interviewer is going to ask what's on our mind. And you know, you have to remember that making an intro for an unscripted video does not mean you have to be unstructured about it. In fact, how you structure those moments and sound bites according to the Rainy framework can make all the difference. Now, next up, here's an intro for a scripted video, which typically means a talking head video like this one, which is another popular format on YouTube. And the intro that we're about to watch is from a video that I made a few years ago called Ex-YouTube Employee Explains How to Grow on YouTube. But let's watch the intro, then we'll break it down because I actually used a lot of the same tactics in this video. The rules of how to grow a YouTube channel have completely changed this year. And I would know, I used to work at YouTube for 5 years, then worked at Instagram for 3 years, and then I started this channel. And I want to share 7 unconventional tips that led me to get millions of views per day. And it's not the obvious stuff that everyone's talking about. It's stuff I don't think people have heard before. The R is simple. It's tips to grow on YouTube. That's what you get if you watch. The A that I address, the objection, is that most viewers who watch videos like this are like, oh, these are the same old tips that I've heard before, like be authentic or be consistent. So I'm like, no, this is not those same old tips. And I have to over deliver on that, obviously. But again, addressing the objection. The I is for instant, and this intro is about 43 seconds long. The why now, this video came out during a time when Shorts was still new and changed how creators approach their channel. So I wanted to lean into that moment. And the why you, well, simply it was I worked at YouTube and I've been on the inside. I launched many of these features that you use today. And honestly, I know I sometimes lean on that too much, but make no mistake about it. You don't need to be associated with a brand or have a professional experience to make a video about a topic. So here's a bonus tip. You could use the guinea pig method where you put yourself through an experience to answer that why you question. And here's two examples from two amazing creators named Shervin Shares and Sam Reed. Like, Shervin is not a foot doctor. So how did he answer that why you question? Well, he only wore barefoot shoes for 1,000 days and emphasized that in the intro and title, which makes viewers way more intrigued to hear his perspective versus the many other shoe review videos out there. And for Sam, well, what's actually crazy about this one is that I gave a talk about this video to Taco Bell, and Sam isn't a nutritionist or anything, but him eating only Taco Bell for 30 days to see if it's the healthiest fast food makes his intro all the more compelling. Now, of course, that's an extreme example, and I wouldn't recommend it for obvious health reasons, but the point here is this. Think about how you can make the why you part of your intro and video stronger, since that often takes the most